What's up, energy? Follow the magic rabbit. Fuego Conejo. This is DMTV with another virtual conscious reality check. Yeah, we into building and making billions. So welcome to Lit Vibes. I am the Shaman King. And today, we're going to talk about the darkness and the lights in your 3D reality. The reason why I wanted to do this video is because I talk a lot about being yourself, stepping into your power. So the way that we're going to talk about magic today, using the 4 elements that are invested in you, I want to break down how you are in 3 parts of a dimension that make you your universe. All right, so those of you who can understand how there's points of view and perspectives that can be black or white. In the middle, there is what we would call a gray area where the colors mix. Okay, so I'll need you to try to see yourself in 3 different dimensions as one being. Okay, so let's just say on one side you have shadow. On the shadow side of your dark power or your black magic, you have where you can use and experience life with your emotional body. Now, your emotional body is not going to always be colored one color. It's going to be colored multiple colors. And what you get when you mix all the colors together is no color, or the color black. This would be the equivalent to one side of your dimensional self, which would be your ego or your conscience. Some of you have heard where we talk about having a demon on one shoulder and an angel on the other. So for this side, we're going to talk about how shadow self, or the reflection of your light self or your physical self, is a shadow. And then there are 3 dimensions of the shadow. One would be just the shadow, just your feelings, okay? The next dimension over is you feeding your feelings into something spiritual. That would become a demon or a D-man, representing your lower self. Okay? Now, once you create a D-man, this is going to be like voices in your head talking to you about your feelings. If you continue to feed this and it grows stronger, it will become a devil. This is now where you're not just hearing voices in your head or feeling negative emotions in your heart, but you're also reacting instead of responding to life in a backwards living type of way, or a very evil way, where you create a devil. And this becomes your ego that takes the lead whenever you experience fears, doubts, or disbeliefs. Now, on the other side, you have the light, the image of yourself, meaning who you think that you are, or the you that you want others to think that you are. In this side, you have the light, and this is the part of you that is always embodying your thoughts or your thought forms. Okay? So your thought forms are the light side of you. And this light, the next phase over from that, because this is your light body that we're talking about, is an angel, which would be the other conscience or the bright side of your ego on the other shoulder. Now, you can create an angel, and these voices will speak to you as well. But instead of speaking to you in your head, they're going to speak to your heart, because the energy must circulate. They speak to your heart, and then those feelings go into your head and become images. On the other side, the demons speak to your mind, and they go down into your heart and become villains. Okay? Heart, head, thoughts, head, heart, feelings. Circulation. Right. Okay, so what you're going to have is you're going to create an angelic likeness of yourself, an angelic version of yourself that is an A man. This represents your higher self. Lower self on one side, the D man. Higher self, A man on the other side. You're feeding your energies from either your emotional body or your light body to these phases of yourself. Outward, if you continue to feed this angelic likeness of yourself, you will create a God. And this God, or this goddess, because you could also use thought forms that are masculine or feminine, and you can create either gods or goddesses. On the other side, you would create a devils or she-devils. So you create the gods or goddesses, and this is the part of your ego that takes the lead, and it pretty much governs your way. It tells you what you can and cannot do. This sets what you might refer to as your boundaries, whereas on the other side, you might refer to this devilish way about you is your insecurities. Okay, so you have three parts of yourself that you have to integrate in order for you to just be you. Your entire universe consists of you being you. Your state of mind, your state of being, and just your state are connected to your three brains that are always thinking. And these three brains are always thinking, and they must stay in connection with each other and be in alignment with the choices that you make. Now, if you fall into separation as opposed to your oneness, when it comes to situations that are life lessons that would have to do with your personal fears, doubts, and disbeliefs, not anyone else's, but yours, you're going to create life lesson situations that you'll probably view as this is happening to me. Okay? On the other side, you're going to have life situations where you're creating things that are happening for you. So you're going to have times when you're going to be pulled in this direction, and you're going to feel like things are happening to you, and you're going to have times when you're being pulled in this direction and things are happening for you. The confusion comes when you've given too much of yourself to either side or the other, and you're beginning to realize that you cannot serve two masters. So you have to call your energy back to yourself and pull in your personal power so that you can just be yourself naturally and normally. Now, understanding this concept, you're going to have a top view and a bottom view, okay? Where you have love, trust, and oneness on one side, and fears, doubt, and disbeliefs on the other side. If we line them up where fear and love are at the same level, sometimes you're facing fears, sometimes you're facing love. Sometimes you're facing doubts, sometimes you're facing trust. Sometimes you're facing disbelief, and sometimes you're facing oneness. Okay? These are your challenges that are set up by the energies that are within your birth chart, where you're connected to every heavenly body, including the sun, the moon, the stars, and all the rest of the planets. This is your astrology, okay? So your astrology connects you to these energies. You are the co-creator in your world, your universe. You use your lights, your shadows, and your physical self to be who you are. All right. Being who you are is simply a matter of being a human. Hu meaning God, man meaning manifested. You being yourself would be God manifested. As a manifester, you don't poof things into existence, but you do manifest things through procreation, using your magic, your light, your shadows being reflections of yourself, your lights being images of yourself. Sometimes you're reflecting, sometimes you're imaging. This is light and darkness. Okay, so I think we can end it right here. I think that's enough information for now. So stay tuned for part 2, where I talk about more of the hidden symbolisms in spirituality, astrology, and psychology that can help you live better, think better, and be better. So on that note, spirits, take care of your bodies. And bodies, take care of your spirits. And just be the light that you are. Namaste.